How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I'm your host, Cosmic Ray. As I create this video at the time for myself, it happens to be 11:11. I did not purposely do that, and I just looked at the time and realized, wow, must be perfect. I tried to create some content earlier, but I realized the type of content that I was about to provide through my channel, not like the YouTube channel, but channeling, if you will, um, may not be something like appropriate, or at least I felt right to let you guys know. So I stopped, and then as I was stopping and about to hit record, the time came up as 11:11. So I don't know if this is like one of those moments where it'd be a great time to talk about like synchronicities. However, I do know that with your spirit guides, your higher self, our divine entities, the ones that just watch us, the ones that actually have joy for us, they want us to have certain experiences because it's something that we wanted. But they also keep in mind that you have to still, in a sense, walk through the door. They can show you the door. They can show you certain opportunities. Sometimes they do test you just to see if you actually can pay attention to some of the signs. But you still have to pay attention to the signs. You still have to see the 11:11s. You still have to see the 222s. Like, for example, I know I always talk about numbers, about the synchronicities. I mean, they could be events, but, in this case, it doesn't have to be necessarily like specifically like a clock, like how I just saw 11:11. Like I was microwaving something, and it was like I started off as 4 minutes. Now, obviously, if you're just staring at the clock on the microwave, and you can see the time go down. Now, of course, I'm not saying that if you're starting at 4 minutes, you're like, oh, I saw 333, then 222, 111, then double numbers. Five. So it's not like that. I was doing something and didn't even know, and I looked, and right when I looked, it happened to be like 222. Certain things like that can also happen depending on what your thought was and your mindset and how like that feeling was during the time when you happened to notice that the clock or whatever countdown was at that 222 mark. It wasn't like I was at 225, 224, 223, then 222, and I was like, oh, look at that. It wasn't that at all. It was just I just so happened to look and it was at 222. A lot of those things happen in life, and it's just one of those things that please try to pay attention when that happens. And when you do, it's a beautiful experience, and that's part of like when you start noticing these synchronistic moments that come out at you, and it is something that they're trying to at least reach out just to see what you're willing to do. And my spirit guides, I would like to say thank you for this moment. I want to take time to acknowledge you and say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything and anything that's about to come to me, and everything that has been done currently and even in the past. I'm so grateful for my higher self. I'm grateful just to even have something to be on YouTube, to be able to have these experiences I can share with the collective, to know they're not the only ones going through this. When I do these videos, it's not for any fame. This is just something to reach out, to be able to say, hey, I am also here too. I am someone that's going through this. And it's hard because you don't really know what to believe, who to believe, what is going on. And you hear these people that have like many type of subscribers, and they're saying all these things like, oh, the best way to live your life, to make money is to not do this and to do this and be this way, act this way. Not all I'm trying to do is just hopefully help uplift your life condition, maybe give you a possible just different definition, or even a possibly new reality of what spirituality can be and can help within your own life, taking different elements of life to be able to know that it's not just necessarily one thing, but to have a perfect balance, of that whole mind, body, soul kind of thing, or mind, body, and spirit. To be able to take all three and to be able to utilize it and to be able to master all three, you know, it, to have that in a sense, and to be the I don't want to say the perfect, 'cause it just sounds weird to say that, but just the best you that you can be. Not because the best you so you can look like me, or the best me so I can be like you. Just the best you. And then you take whatever, anything that I may say and help incorporate into your life if it works out for you and it resonates for you. And if it doesn't, don't worry about it. You know, I did this, I started to do all these videos and wanted to do this just to help reach out, to be able to help, even in a sense, just talk about it. Because I know there's more than just me out there. I know there's plenty of you, and it's odd because at times I start to realize how real this collective consciousness is. First, thinking it was like a joke, that it was all BS. Then having these certain thoughts, and I start seeing other YouTubers having these type of like videos about these thoughts that I had. And at first I started thinking, oh, it's a coincidence. And I started wondering if it's synchronistic moments, or if it's because I'm in deep meditation. Maybe I am like signaling this out for them to either pick up on, or, and then I start to realize, well, no, we're just all getting these like quote unquote downloads. We're just all interpreting it into like different ways. Well, how can we all be thinking about the same thing? How can we all be interpreting something or gathering information? There's got to be something, right? There's no way it can't be. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously there's so many people in this world, okay? So at some point, one of us is going to have the same type of thought as the other. And how some people have said, like, oh, did you know somewhere around the world, somewhere, on this earth, there's the same version of you, and they don't know that you exist, and blah, 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 and it's like the other version. And I'm like, no, okay, no. I'm sure there's people that do have twins, yes, and other things, but no, I don't necessarily think there's the other version of me out there, on this earth, unless they're already that traveler. Otherwise, I would have a lot of questions. Uh, Anyways, what I'm trying to get at, with the whole, with the other things, it's just, there's no way that there's just a coincidence that we are all having these same thoughts. And don't get me wrong, some people can have the same type of ideas, but if I told you the certain ideas that I've had in my past, then all of a sudden I see these manifest into huge companies. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's no way. Or you start to see you have like one idea, and then later someone else, and all of a sudden something gets created. And because it did, the idea, like you couldn't do anything with this idea because for whatever reason, maybe you just thought it was just a dumb idea and you didn't roll with it. Then all of a sudden you see something and you're like, wow. My brother and I even had like this type of same thought of like creating a certain kind of like gym, and we had a certain name for it. And lo and behold, I see this, on a name. I'm like, no way, like you can't be, you got to be kidding me. The type of layout, type of everything. And I guess who knows? Some people could say, well, it was just so happened to at some point, rather in this lifetime, someone would have had to create this type of, atmosphere. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Um, but that's how I started to realize, that's how I started to realize about this collective consciousness, and I started to realize certain things were real. I started to understand that, we were all getting these somewhat similar downloads. And it's just something where it's a beautiful thing, and it's something joyous I do love, and it's just hard. And then some other people or YouTubers don't realize that. Even, don't get me wrong, they're spiritual too, but they don't realize that. Some of us are a bit thinking that everyone's like stealing back and forth. I don't know why. It's like an odd thing. I know I said that before, because I swear there's like a particular person that feels like things are going back and forth, and it's just funny as hell, at least to me. And I haven't even listened to this person's content or anything, and I don't know if they listen to my content, but everything goes like back and forth. It's craziness. Like you'll see like something pops up on your feed, and you're like, oh wow, they're talking about this, or like, oh, I wonder if they have a different take on it, or you start to realize like, I don't know, they're not like copying off you, and it's just they have this similar thing, and No, I've said that before in a different video. Like it's okay because I feel in a sense, as long as they don't do exactly the same thing, if they have a way to use this information to help someone else, it's still you're still benefiting from it in a sense because they obviously got some type of inspiration from you, and that's okay. It's not anything negative. That's a cool thing. And it feels like cool as if like you're the big brother or whatever it is, and they're using this information and they're helping someone else out. They just have a different spin on it. But for me, it's kind of odd because I feel like whoever this person is feels like we're like biting off of each other. I don't know, and I swear on everything, that's how I know about this collective consciousness. There's no way in hell that people can have this type of same thought, unless I am subconsciously just throwing it out there in the atmosphere for people just to just pick apart, and I can't be it. I can't be that. It just doesn't sound right, does it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna end up posting this video. I just feel that this is something kind of just random, but at the same time, I am seeing things in front of me that I think I need to deal with here at home. Because feel like when the lights are usually off, it's easier to kind of see certain things move around. And I know it sounds kind of odd with a little bit of dim light, and I'm seeing something along the side. So I don't think I'm gonna try to chit chat with it. So bear with me here. To those that are around, so it's the inner outer dimensional vibrational outline people. Can you please? Okay, thank you. Okay. I felt like something was up with that. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Is this my spirit guide? Yeah, I think so. This is my higher self help channeling some projected energy out. Okay. Is that what the inner outer dimensional outline people are taking use of? Okay. This is a little different now. Whew. Okay. I'm just letting you guys know I'm having this kind of chill type of thing um, happening. So I know I said this before, and if ever comes that time, I can get type of equipment. I really want to record something like what I'm seeing in front of me, also as well as like what I can see and what you're seeing, kind of thing, as well at the same time. And right now, it's regards to physical manifestations. When you look through the peripheral, of your eyes, you can start to see. Oh man, you know what? I think I need to talk about something that was happening today when I got off of my 3D job. And it's not like this is really new, and it's not like a shocker to you guys or anything like that. And, sorry. Show of hands of those who've been starting to see the code. And show of hands right here. If anyone's starting to see the code. Now, in that movie, and I don't, just in case I don't want to get like bad copyright stuff. In that movie about simulation, where the one would see code, and of course, if you saw, you've seen this movie, which a lot of people have, if you saw the letters, the green coding that comes down, and of course, when you actually realize what it is, when you hear about the makers who did that, but anyways, but let's just keep it in essence of the code. You know what it looks like because you've seen it on the movies and you see it come down. So once you see it, you're like, oh, I know exactly what that is. Now, let's just say that you can't, or at least for me, you know, when you start seeing like fog or you start seeing like a little bit of rain, you kind of see like this little hint of like stuff that's like just kind of falling, right? Just lightly. There's something where the vibrations off like the air or vibrations off of whatever it is, water or the rain today just made things just like come down. Not like it's in green, not like it was in like a yellow or different color. It was just kind of like that whole see-through thing. You know, yeah. It would come down and it would you certainly like is God, what's the right word? Like not fluttering, just I guess like a flutter, just like from like far away in the distance. And I knew exactly what I was seeing. And it wasn't, you know, like the code. You know, it's not like I can see like letters or numbers. I mean, this is like far away. You know, as you know, people have bad enough time seeing road signs. You know what I'm saying? So, like when you're driving, it's more of like not even that. It's not even that kind of obvious. You know, it's just like looking for those outer dimensional, inner outer dimensional vibrational outline people or entities. And I see that right now, you know, not just not like the code, but like I can see more of them more so. Um, yeah, you know, I'm sorry. I just had a feeling. I know I didn't say anything, and the candle was flicking. I just had like this, just this gut like reactive reaction feeling, and then just saw the candle. It kind of freaked me out because it was something I was looking at. Um, so my apologies. This isn't to you guys watching this. So part of my, I guess if you want to call it divination. You know what? Let me try something else. Those of you that are around and you know exactly what I'm talking about, are you. And I know that you're here to kind of observe, and I understand you're looking. It's just, of course, without any real interaction to get together, it's hard for me to have like what us humans, I guess, in this particular dimension, want to have communication. My communication that I can, besides kind of slightly seeing you into knowing there, is what I call my divinations with a candle. If you're able to help move or to light up, you know, it helps me myself to understand a little bit more. So, you know, also if you're able to make a little bit more of a movement so I can see, or more of a feeling, or I don't know, thickness, so I can actually see you more on my side. And right now it's kind of hard. I know you are in goodness, at least what I'm seeing, and you're not in negative light. It's just wanting to know more about you in this realm of how you're existing, or what are you doing? Are you just doing this because you don't want me to see you? Is this something more that you want like you want us to see you? So I feel like you don't want us to know, but then like I know, and maybe that's why you're trying to figure this out. Hey, Cosmic Surfers. Just wanted to kind of just talk real quick. I know that was obviously a bad edit. Um, what you missed on that video, I had to rewatch it because it was something that I didn't like the way things were going. I don't know if I really wanted to kind of show that video, but in a sense, what ended up happening was I felt like I was in a trance. I felt something happened where I kept feeling as if like, so say the candle right here, right? I felt through my reality, like this candle was literally going like this, right? So when I was talking out loud to if you want to say other entities that were in the room, they, in a sense, I don't know what you want to call it, made me feel as if this thing was going like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And when I was replaying the video for myself, I was like, this candle is not even moving like whatsoever. Like it was weird. It just made me feel like as if they were trying to make me feel as if this thing was moving. So it was kind of an odd type of thing. It wasn't necessarily. I know that sounds bad, and I know it sounds like that's like an evil thing. It's not. It was just one of those things where um, I was just kind of just in that trance in a sense. Like they were able to not necessarily like put a hex on me or anything like that, but it was just one of those moments where it just made me feel like it was just kind of going back and forth, and the rest of the video just kind of just goes me more in depth, trying to find out more. But there was just a part of that where like I felt like for a moment there, like it was just like messing up everything. Where I felt like the candle was going back and forth. I kept doing this, and it kept changing the lighting on this side and then on this side, and I felt like it was just something like powerful. Like they were just trying to like kind of like mess with me, if you will. So, anyways, just wanted to cut it short. All right, thank you guys very much, all you cosmic surfers. You have a wonderful night, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of me kind of just like playing along with these, vibrational outline people, as well as talk about the collective consciousness and how, in a sense, we are all somewhat kind of getting these same type of downloads. Anyways, all right, cosmic surfers, have a wonderful night.